Welcome back to the last video of our fall garden recipe series. We hope that you've enjoyed planting, growing, harvesting, and cooking along with us here at the Allen County Extension Service. My name is Kelly Burgess, and I'm the Family Consumer Sciences Extension Agent with the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service in Allen County. Just a quick reminder about how you can find all of our videos in case you've missed one. You can find it on our Allen County Cooperative Extension Facebook page or on our Allen County Extension Office YouTube channel. And under that YouTube channel, we have a special playlist designated for fall garden recipe videos. So just to recap, we've used radishes back in September to make a sweet and crisp vegetable and pasta salad. We also made 2 recipes with turnips, one using the root part, which was turnip tater mash, and a turnip green soup using the top green part. We've also made 2 different kale recipes, a citrus kale salad and a cranberry almond kale salad. And today, our senior NEP assistant, Nancy Owens, is going to finish off our series with an amazing cabbage roll stew. So I can't wait to hear and see and taste this recipe. But just another reminder as well, if you have been cooking along with us, and if you are one of those individuals who picked up a fall garden bag kit from the farmer's market back in August, you can look forward to receiving something in the mail that is just a follow-up to see, we want to know what seeds you planted, what recipes you made, and maybe what you've learned by growing and watching these videos along with us. So with that, I will turn it over to Nancy Owens, who will get us started on our recipe for today.
Hi, I'm Nancy Owens, the Senior NEP SNAP-Ed Assistant in Allen County at the Allen County Cooperative Extension Service. And today we're going to be making a cabbage roll stew. So before we start, I am going to mask up so Miss Kelly can come back with us. Okay, the first thing that we had to do with our recipe, and I've already done that, was to take 1 pound of ground beef and brown that. And then you're going to drain that ground beef, and once you drain it, you're going to keep 2 tablespoons of the fat. When you keep 2 tablespoons of that fat, you're going to add your onion into your saucepan. And we're going to add our carrots in there, Miss Kelly.
Awesome.
And this was just a 15-ounce can of carrots, and it was 1 medium onion. And then what we're going to do is you're going to let this saute for about 2 minutes.
It already smells good.
It does.
I think this sounds like the perfect fall time recipe. Kind of like a cabbage roll, except you don't have to go through all the work of rolling it up. You just get to eat it as a soup.
And while this is sauteing for a couple of minutes, I want to let you know that this recipe actually comes out of our 2019 calendar recipes. And each year, the Allen County or any cooperative extension service gets calendars in. And they have 12 nutritious recipes in them. And you can pick those up at your local extension office anywhere. They're free. We also, if you want to know about recipes we've had in the past, there is a website, a link to it, that is, you can go on there and find recipes that we've had in the past.
And it's a pretty easy one to remember too. It's actually planeatmove.com, I think .com.
Yep.
So just those 3 words all pushed together, planeatmove.com. You can find this recipe along with others, and it's actually on the back of that calendar.
Yes,
so
right there, planeatmove.com.
If you pick up this month's calendar or this year's calendar, you'll be able to access that without having to remember it.
I remember, while this is doing that, I remember we did a calendar recipe one time, and it's a sweet potato chili. And everyone in my NEP class was kind of like, I'm not for sure about that. And I'm like, just take your Hello Bites, all I ask. And everyone loved that recipe.
So often it's really easy to be a little bit skeptical of something that's just a little bit different, or maybe has one new vegetable or one new ingredient that we haven't had before. But that's honestly a great way to try something new, is to add in something new, a new vegetable into something we are familiar with. It's easier to kind of adjust your taste buds.
And now that we've let that saute for a little bit, we're going to add in, I have 1 medium head of cabbage here, and I just took the little grater and kind of grinded that up to kind of give it some small pieces. It cooks quicker if we do that.
And Nancy really did that well in the old-fashioned way. If you were in a bind for time, you could get a bag of shredded cabbage, but this way will probably save you some money by buying it in its unprocessed form.
And we're also going to add in here, we're going to add in our garlic powder. And our garlic powder is actually 1 tablespoon.
Stir for you. Yum.
And once we add those things in there, then we have to kind of let it go for about 3 to 4 minutes.
And that cabbage will start to cook down and smell good.
And another thing I have learned too, that our taste changes. Used to, I didn't like cabbage. And I didn't like the way it smelled or tasted even. I love cabbage now. So even though you may have not liked things when you were younger, or your taste bud changes all the time. And there's a lot of things that used to I wouldn't eat that I love now.
And cabbage is a great vegetable. It belongs to that cruciferous vegetable family, so it's in the same category with Brussels sprouts, with broccoli, with cauliflower, and has some great nutrition benefits too.
It sure does. It's got, cabbage contains vitamin C, fiber, folate, calcium, and iron, and it's only 15 calories.
Is that per cup or per half cup?
That's per half cup.
Okay, so really a whole cup, only 30 calories. But it will keep you full without being super calorie dense.
Yep.
I think it's awesome that our green veggies like cabbage do give us an option for calcium and iron that we typically think of more with animal foods. So if you are following a vegetarian diet or just eating less meat in general, it's a great option for getting some of those minerals that might be a little bit harder to get.
I think we like about another minute, wouldn't you say?
Maybe, yeah, probably just about 1 minute. It looks like it's getting there, but it needs just a little extra time. I think this looks like it might be a nice thick stew.
It is, and I've made this before, and I really, really enjoyed this stew. And it smells absolutely wonderful. Wonderful.
Great thing to put on your stove, and it'll bring everybody come drooling back to the kitchen for dinner time. I hear it now.
Yeah.
So what other ingredients do we have?
We're going to, after this goes for about another minute, we're going to add, and it's 2 cups of beef broth that we're going to be putting in there. We're going to be putting in 1 15-ounce can of tomatoes, diced tomatoes. And then we're going to be putting in a 28-ounce can of tomato sauce. And then we're going to be putting in a teaspoon of oregano and a teaspoon of thyme.
Good spices and flavors. And I love that you mentioned all those flavors we get to add without having to add salt. We'll talk more about that later probably, but we really can add a lot of flavors without just the salt shaker.
And the beef broth that we're going to use today is also low sodium.
Oh, awesome.
So, okay, and I think
sounds
we're
like
ready
it's ready.
To do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to put in our 2 cups of low sodium beef broth. And then we're going to put in our 28-ounce can of the tomato sauce. And if you've been to my NEP classes, this is one of the incentives that we have. I absolutely love this.
That's the best spatula.
Give out. And then this is, like I said, 1 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And then we're going to put in our teaspoon of thyme, and it's ground up thyme.
Okay.
And now all of these spices, it's going to really smell now.
It will.
And then we're going to put in that teaspoon of oregano.
Okay.
Let me give this a stir here.
Looks awesome.
And we're going to bring this to a light boil. And we're also going to add back in just a minute, we'll add back in our cooked beef. But we're going to give this a light boil, and then we're going to add our beef back in, and we'll add our brown rice back in.
Perfect. And what kind of brown rice do you have?
This brown rice that I have is going to make this recipe cook a little quicker.
Okay.
Because that is the 10-minute bag brown rice.
Awesome.
When I go to the grocery store, if I have things like that already, then I'm not going to purchase brown rice because I've already got it.
Right.
And it's just going to cook a little quicker than it would
Yeah.
if we had a regular bag of brown rice, because that takes longer to cook.
And I think that's a good tip too. If somebody wants to make this for a weeknight dinner, I know I have some brown rice in my pantry at home that takes 45 minutes to cook. So I might choose to use one like this just in the interest of time.
Yeah.
If I was doing this recipe on a weeknight maybe.
And it'll cook a lot quicker. And I mean, even if you don't, this recipe is not too bad. It just takes like about 35, 40 minutes to cook it completely from start to finish. So it's not gonna, now that we've got this at a slight boil, we're gonna add back in our beef. And also, if you're cooking beef at home and you have a potato masher, that's what I use to kind of get my beef separated.
Yes, I remember when you taught me that. You were the first person to teach me, so
Yep.
we can all learn from
And
each
if this
other.
is a little too thick for you, we can add a cup of water or so, and
What do
we
you-
may do that
you
in
wanna
just
do
a
that?
few minutes
Okay.
because it's looking a little bit thick. So we might want to get a cup of water, Kelly.
All right. Got up about
There
1 cup.
we go.
Just give that rice a little bit of room to, a little room to cook there.
And we're going to let this cook for about, I'm going to say about 15 minutes or so, and we'll be back in a few minutes with the finished product. Welcome back, everyone, and we've cooked our cabbage roast stew, and it smells absolutely wonderful, Miss Kelly.
It does, and it
And look,
looks wonderful
look
too.
at that. So we're going to serve this up right here.
Looks so tasty.
And I just want to remind everyone that cabbage is a really good vegetable. It's one of the oldest vegetables there is, but it's a really good vegetable for during cold winter months. It lasts a whole lot longer.
You said it's easy to grow too, right?
Yes, it grows in cold temperatures. It says that you can transplant, that you can do a garden and it can withstand temperatures of 20 degrees.
Okay.
So it's going to be an easy vegetable that you can grow that will withstand those frosts and withstand the cold temperatures too. It says here that the cabbage takes about 3 weeks from the seedlings to set during the summer months, but during the colder months, it would probably be about the same, you think?
maybe a little longer. We planted all of our veggies at the same time if you were planting your fall garden along with us, and this was our last one to come ready. So it does take a little bit longer for it, at least this time of year.
And it says that cabbage can be steamed, boiled, braised, microwave, stuffed, stir-fried, and it's also great served raw in slaws and salads too.
Very versatile.
Very versatile. If you want to make a complete meal with this recipe that we're doing today, you could put apple slices on the side. You could use a piece of whole wheat bread to go along with it, and a cup of low-fat milk.
That sounds great. It sounds like we're ready for lunchtime.
We sure are.
All right, well, that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining us for our fall garden recipe video series. We hope that you've enjoyed it, and like I mentioned, if you were one of those individuals who picked up a gardening bag kit from us, you can look forward to receiving a follow-up in the mail over the next few weeks. We hope that you'll join us back next time here at the Extension office.
Thank you.